Hello, everyone, and welcome to STENO 24/7. Well, it used to be STENO 24/7. It is now Sandra'S Stenography and Shorthand Court Reporting Dictation. Right in is Sandra'S Stenography or Sandra's Steno, and it should come up on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm actually doing something fascinating right now. I am actually broadcasting from YouTube, but also from my Patreon account, Sandra Clay, www.patreon.com/Sandra Clay. I'm playing around with this tonight because I'm going to be honest, and I've always been honest with all of you. I hate this platform. I just really don't like all of the changes that they've made over here on YouTube. And if you want to do a search on that on YouTube, you will find many videos on that particular subject from other creators. As though YouTube is trying to go more mainstream, like with news and late night television shows, and then you've got other broadcasts that they have that's like it's not making it good for the little guy. So I was thinking, move your channel over to Patreon. It's clean over there. It will be just for you. I mean, YouTube is just it's hard to find me in a sea of a million people, but I mean that channel would be specifically nothing else. Nothing else would be on there except what you came to see, and that's dictation. And it's just so streamlined over there. I mean, I can broadcast live from over there. I can do live streaming. I can do regular videos. I can be more specific. We could have more have an easier way to talk with each other and encourage each other. So, and I know you'll probably be thinking, oh, she wants us over there because she wants some money. No, it's not about that. It really isn't. I started this channel in 2015, September 2015. I haven't made one dime. So you can't say, oh, it's all about that, because it's not. It's not why I created this channel. But with that being said, it would be nice to get a couple of dollars every month to put towards the cable bill so I can keep the internet on, so I can keep doing this for you. I won't lie. I'm not a liar. I would be grateful to get $20 a month, or just for a show of appreciation. Yes. What creator would not want to get paid for their creations? I can't name one unless they're just on a channel, just dilly-dallying around. That's different. What I do here is try to bring you quality dictation on a daily basis. That takes a lot of time. It takes time away from my family, my friends, other things that I could be doing. It takes away from my practice time for me to make these videos for you. And what is wrong with a little compensation from someone that's helping you? Some people have a problem with that. So those people probably won't be following me over to Patreon. And that's okay. Because I only want people that are serious about doing this. And those people that are serious about doing this don't have a problem giving someone $1 a month, $2 a month. And the reason I feel this way, I didn't used to feel this way, but I spoke with another court reporter, and we had a long, lengthy conversation. And she said, "Why are you doing that for free?" And I said, "That's the kind of person that I am." And she said, "They will wear you out, leave you high and dry." And basically just made it seem like my people are just takers. You know, she said they'll take and take and take and never give anything back, and will leave you pretty much worn out. So I thought about that, and I said, "Well, wow, that's something." I hadn't even looked at it that way. And I'm not going really over there because to Patreon because she said that, but it did help nudge me a little bit because she does have a point. We can't say that she doesn't have a point. I mean, it's like McDonald's. If they say free food for everybody, guess who's going to be at McDonald's? I will, and so will you and your family if you eat McDonald's. So this is going to be hard, but I'm going to make it gradual. I won't do it all at once. But if you hear me mentioning in future videos, in 2018, I'm moving this channel. I'm moving over to Patreon. Please follow me over there. I promise you, you'll still get dictation, even if you don't give me anything. You will still get your dictation. So, with all of that being said, this is the first video that I put out about this move. Been thinking about it for a long time. Please leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's not a good idea? A thumbs up, a thumbs down? Do you feel where I'm coming from? Do you feel when I say it's not about the money? It's just so much easier for me to go over there and make these videos. I mean, I pay a company called TubeBuddy, and they help me make the videos faster by helping me helping with me with the description a little bit. They helped me not with the live videos, but they were helping me before with the thumbnails. If you look at my videos, you'll see all these fun thumbnail colors and stuff. That's what I was using too, buddy. And with the tags, I don't have to type in all the tags. I can kind of just go over here and click, and it'll put a lot of the tags that I need in the video. I pay out of my pocket every month $20 to this company so that I can kind of streamline in making the videos. It helps me create the videos slightly faster for you. Not the live stream, but the other videos. So, oh yeah, well, it helps with the live streams too. My bad. It does help with the live stream too. But I just don't use the thumbnail part on the live streaming. So what I'm trying to say is, to break this down for you, I pay out of my pocket $20 every month to this company to help me bring videos to you. So obviously, it can't be about money if I spend my own money on this channel, which is something I never anticipated I had to do. Never thought about that. Never thought I would be paying another company when I started this channel to help me, but because of my arthritis, and I don't want to have to type in all those descriptions and all those tags. I use TubeBuddy, but TubeBuddy costs money. So Please don't get the impression that I'm trying to get you over there just to get you to come out of your pocket with something. It's not about that. I take money out of my own pocket. But it would be nice if every now and then I could get $20 to pay TubeBuddy, or $20 to put in my pocket to help me make this channel better. Everybody knows that money is a great incentive, and I will never get rich doing this. Let's face it. I have a job. For those people who say, oh, well, then you just need to get a job, because I can see that in the comment section. I have one. And I still take my time and make these videos for you. What can you say? What can you say to a young lady or a woman who is trying to do the best she can to bring dictation to other court reporters so that they can succeed? And she's paying for part of it out of her own pocket. And she also has a job and kids and practice her own self. You know, not much you can say about that. So I am just trying to give you a heads up. In the future, where this channel will probably end up, if I get, if YouTube over the next couple of months happens to get its shit together, and like somebody told me, this is just one instance why I really don't even like YouTube. Somebody told me that they came to my channel and liked my videos, didn't even see the likes. Somebody told me they came and subscribed to my channel. 2 weeks later, they were no longer subscribed to my channel. And they didn't unsubscribe themselves. Subscribe themselves. Must have been that AI that we're working with. These are the type of things that you have to deal with when you are a creator on YouTube. And believe me, it is quite frustrating for me and all the thousands of other creators on this channel. And after a while, it just starts to stink. Because if you're just going to do for the big channels, or you're going mainstream and you're going to leave the little channels behind, the little people, where does that leave us? So that means, do we stay in an environment where it's somewhat hostile to us, not good for us, or do we just stay here and hope things get better? I don't know. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I know I've gone on and on, but I meant to bring you some, let me get right into this dictation. Guys, it's just rough out here. And I just don't know. It's a digital world now, All have to deal with AIs and bots and so many other things, that it's hard. It's hard. Teaching a bot. You have to teach, I don't know. You have to teach a robot, basically, that your channel doesn't have bad content. It doesn't have that you're not using racism, that it's like some of my videos, y'all know it's like, let's say I put out a video on personal injury. This robot thinks that, oh my gosh, she's talking about something that she shouldn't be talking about, and I'm not going to any type of promotion on that video. They won't even let me put an ad on it, and the ads on there, I only get like 9 cents for every time you watch an ad. They won't even let me put an ad on that type of video because the robot thinks that I'm saying something bad, or that it might be racism or some controversy. and YouTube doesn't want to support channels that do that. But not only are those channels being affected, but the good channels are also being affected by this. Oh, let me stop. I'm sorry, y'all. I just have to get this stuff off my mind. If I don't talk to y'all about it, I just don't have anybody else to talk to about it. So I have to talk to y'all about it. Now, where we left off here. Yes, I see where we left off here on the congressional hearing. This is congressional hearing number 2. And this is Dr. Shelley speaking. So the title, which is in bold, would be Dr. Louise Shelley, Director, Terrorism, Transnational Crime, and Corruption Center, George Mason University. And as you know, this will not be at any particular speed. Let's just try to reach some legibility and some accuracy. Dr. Shelley, thank you for this great honor, and it's a great pleasure to speak again before the Helsinki Commission. One of my first congressional testimonies was on the issue of human trafficking before this commission, and with Congressman Smith's support. I've been following this issue of cigarette smuggling and illicit trade for a long time, and it has taken me to many different locales. More than a dozen years ago, I was in Georgia, where our research had shown that there were linkages between the illicit cigarette trade and Iraq. And when I talked about this in a public meeting, it was one of the first times in my research career in which I was threatened. So it tells us that illicit cigarette trade is not a benign activity, and traffickers will even go after researchers. More recently, I have visited the open markets in Paris, where cigarettes are sold en masse, and France is the contraband capital of Europe for illicit cigarette trade. And it's hardly surprising that one of the Kouachi brothers, who murdered the journalist of Charlie Hebdo, received some of his income from the illicit cigarette trade. Also, I have visited the markets of illicit cigarettes in Italy, which are very much under the control of organized crime. So we see very different variations in this problem, but many elements of it across the OSCE region. I've also spoken to investigators in New York who work closely with their international counterparts, as there is an important crime terror connection to illicit cigarette trafficking in the United States. What is important, I think, to point out beyond your opening and very clear remarks is that there has been a problem of a culture of impunity. As I have in my longer written statement, the former president of Montenegro won the award from the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project as Criminal of the Year 1 year ago because of his very important role in the illicit cigarette trade. So it's not just criminals. It's not just terrorists, but it's high-level officials that are not just in policing or in the borders, but at the heads of national governments that are involved in this. Beyond this, we need to look at the importance of hubs outside the OSCE region and what they're doing in facilitating the trade of the illicit cigarettes that move into Europe and also into North America. Free trade zones like the Jebel Ali Free Zone in Dubai is absolutely central to this. Furthermore, we need to be thinking about illicit cigarette trade as not a standalone crime. It converges with the drug trade, with wildlife smuggling, trade in counterfeit goods, and other crimes. Illustrative of this is a case that occurred in the Czech Republic, in which the Czech police that were monitoring illicit cigarette trade tipped off members of the customs police in the Czech Republic to the fact that a shipment of rhino horn was about to be arriving in the Czech Republic from South Africa. What this tells us is that there is a convergence of different crimes, and also that the cigarette trade often serves as what I call venture capital for other forms of serious crime, so that the money that you get from this petty trade that you can start with leads you to even higher revenue streams that can have very corrosive impact. Also, we need to be thinking about the role of companies in facilitating this trade. In my written statement, I cite a problem that British American Tobacco cited and Imperial Tobacco with Facebook in the UK, where posts on Facebook were facilitating the delivery of cigarettes in that country. And the same thing has been found by PMI in France. And yet, there has been very limited response from the new media companies that are facilitators of this trade. And just as we've put pressure on the new media to be countering terrorist recruitment, we also need to be focusing on how they are facilitating illicit trade. And I start off with a case of going to the Museum of Immigration in Paris and listening to a broadcast on earphones to a migrant describing his problems in Europe. And he describes how he arrived illegally in Italy and can't find employment. He traverses Italy. He goes to France and finally winds up in Marseille and says, in Marseille, I'm now working. I'm working as a cigarette seller. But what it doesn't say is that he's working in the illicit cigarette market, where 40% of the sales of cigarettes in Marseille, a hub that connects with terrorism, are illicit cigarettes. And so, as Europe fails to integrate its masses of illegal immigrants, it is also fomenting the problem of illicit trade, because illicit activities cluster where individuals who cannot work legitimately work in illicit markets. So what we need to do to address this problem First of all, we need to allocate more law enforcement responses to this and to do the kind of network analysis of hybrids following the money that is not done enough in relationship to this crime. We need to address not just the low-level corruption, but the high-level corruption that facilitates this trade. About 10 days ago, when I was talking about this in front of the Security Assembly of the Annual Security Review of the OSCE in Vienna, I talked about these problems of new trends, which we're looking at. And subsequently, I went to a rollout of a publication called The Crooked Kaleidoscope: Organized Crime in the Balkans, which made the same point as I do. And I've cited it in my report, that high-level corruption is behind this trade in the Balkans. We need to require corporations in the new media space to focus more on their facilitating role. And that needs to be part of a larger effort to focus on public-private partnerships. And we need to pay more attention to the facilitating role of free zones in illicit trade. And as a researcher, I suggest that we need to focus much more on understanding the illicit flows, the hubs of the trade, and the convergence of different forms of illicit trade. Because insights from one kind of criminal activity can help in fighting another. We need to work on the harmonization of tax policies on cigarettes, because it is the discrepancies in pricing that provide so many incentives for participation. And we need to provide serious analysis of the optimum tax rates on cigarettes that address state revenue concerns, but also do not contribute to smuggling. About 10 days ago, I was in France and listening to the radio, and it said they need to increase their taxes on cigarettes in France to reach 10 euros a pack. But there is no analysis of what this will do to illicit markets. Though the radio commented that they imagine that this would increase the problem, where already France is #1 in Europe. So we need to discuss serious policy analysis that will help us address this issue. It is not just a small-scale problem. And as you mentioned in the introduction, it is very crucial to state revenues, state capacity, and to national security. Thank you, Mr. Wicker. Well, thank you very much. And Mr. Sweener, you are recognized next. Thank you. Now, I know that was long. I know y'all like, you do really expect me to read all that? No, not in one sitting, not unless you can. That's why I'm letting people know that this congressional hearing is for pretty much like, I would say at least from 100 to up, because I do each person's reading and it can be quite lengthy. And if you don't have the stamina to do this whole thing at once, break it up into 3 parts. Make sure that you're putting any words that you already don't have into your dictionary, like euros. Check. As a matter of fact, let me go through this. Helsinki, that's Helsinki. Helsinki. Let's see. Trafficking. Cigarette smuggling. Iraq. Traffickers. Paris. En masse. ENMASSE. France. Contraband. Europe. Kouachi Brothers. KOUACHI. Charlie Hebdo. 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 Italy. Variations. Elements. OSCE region. Crime. Terror. That's a hyphen in between there. Crime. Terror. Montenegro. MONTENEGRO. North America. Free trade. Hyphen that. Jebel Zone. Jebel is spelled with a J. JEBELALI. Free zone is all capital letters. Jebel Ali Free Zone. In Dubai. DUBAI. Czech Republic. CZECH. Republic. South Africa. Facebook. UK. Facilitating. Museum of Immigration, capitalized. Marseille, or Mars, I pronounced it Marseille, but it's probably pronounced some other way, but we'll give it a shot here. It's spelled MARSEILLE. Market, cigarettes. Let's see. Crooked kaleidoscope. You don't have crooked, you probably, but kaleidoscope. You would spell that to put it in your dictionary. KALEIDO. Scope. Balkans. BALKANS. And that's pretty much all I see right now, guys. So thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you being here. And I'll be seeing you at the next video. Thank you so much for coming. And as always, happy writing.